T-Mobile. Williamsport, Pennsylvania, the great host, as always, to this event. And how about this primetime matchup down at Volunteer Stadium? It's Canada, the kids from Vancouver, out of Little Mountain Little League, couple of wins already, against Mexico from Matamoros. 8 teams have been eliminated so far, so we are down to a dozen that remain. Canada and Chinese Taipei are 2-0 on the international side. Nolensville, Tennessee now 3-0. Honolulu's got a big matchup with Texas later tonight. With that, we say hello and thanks for joining us once again here at the Little League World Series. Xavier Scruggs, Tim Kirkchin, Mike Monaco with you. Sebastian Salazar joins us in a moment. And guys, this is a really fun matchup here tonight in the Winners Bracket X. Let's start with Mexico and what they've done with their bats.
Yeah, if you're looking for some sticks today, this is the team that you want to watch. I'm talking about Davis Zarate, first and foremost, and Miguel Padilla. They both went back-to-back jacks in their first game. But the one thing for me, though, is that these guys have very balanced approach at the plate. They know how to drive the baseball. They had 4 of the team's 5 hits. And guess what? When you go espalda a espalda, you got to be careful with these two in the middle of the lineup.
Well, Sebastian was between their mothers when they hit the home runs. Now he's between the home run hitters.
Thanks, guys. Got Miguel Padilla and David Zarate here. They hit back-to-back jacks in Mexico's opener. We got to know how that feels. Okay, Miguel, cuéntame, ¿cómo se sintió ese jonrón en el primer partido?
Se sintió muy padre porque, pues, muy feliz porque yo pensé que no se iba a ir porque iba muy de línea y pues se fue y muy feliz me sentía al momento que se fue.
He said at first it was a line drive. He didn't know if it was going to clear the fence, but in the moment that it got over the fence, he was very happy. Okay, David, la misma pregunta. ¿Cómo se sintió dar ese jonrón en el primer partido?
Es muy feliz porque es el juego de mis sueños y es el torneo de mis sueños y pues darlo es el mejor momento de todo.
He was very happy because it was the game of his dreams, it's the tournament of his dreams, and to deliver a home run, that meant everything. What else means everything is having Mexico on this jersey. ¿Qué significa para ti representar México en estas instancias?
Pues es un cargo que la camisa no es liviana, es pesada, pero pues lo logramos y lo que entrenamos lo hicimos y se puede.
He said this jersey is not light. It weighs a lot. There's a lot of responsibility, but they've earned this trip through practice. One last question here for Miguel. Miguel, todo este apoyo, más de 200 aquí, ¿eso para ti qué significa?
Pues mucho apoyo para nosotros. En un campo tuvimos más de 5,000 personas y pues sí se siente muy padre toda esta persona a venir a apoyarnos.
I asked him about the support. He said there were over 5,000 at the national championship. We got a couple hundred here tonight, and he's very happy to have the support. Guys, back up to you.
Yeah, their mothers were so prideful when Sebastian interviewed them during the game after the home runs, and the players, as you would expect, are as well. They go up against Canada, who, Tim, 2 games in, hasn't given up a run.
Canada's pitching has been unbelievably good so far. 2 shutouts, first against Australia, then against Japan. 12 innings pitched, 24 strikeouts so far. And Ben Dardanelle, who started that game against Australia and was brilliant, he will start tonight. But as X said, this is a really good hitting Mexico team. This should be great fun.
It should be a good one. The winner plays Wednesday against Chinese Taipei, and then would be just 1 win away from the international title game. The Little League World Series on ESPN is presented by T-Mobile. Get coverage beyond the expected. Stream in the air and abroad on us so you can stay in the game. The oldest Little League in Canada is Little Mountain Little League in Vancouver, the largest urban park, Stanley Park, part of a natural rainforest. You can go kayaking at Deep Cove, known as Hollywood North for its film productions. Ryan Reynolds was born there and grew up in Vancouver. And these baseball players have made some history representing Canada here at the Little League World Series. More than 4,500 kilometers to get from Vancouver to Williamsport, PA. Let's meet Team Canada.
My name is Ben Meichenbaum, and my dream job is to be a baseball player. My name is Elle St. James, and my favorite baseball team are the Boston Red Sox.
My name's Lucas Fabro, and my favorite app is YouTube.
My name is Mateo Liberatore, and my favorite baseball player is Bo Bichette.
My name is Alden Yu, and my favorite subject is PE.
My name is Omar Busmina, and my favorite dessert is strawberry cheesecake.
My name is Gruden Yan, and my favorite app is Snapchat.
My name is Lucas Weiser, and my favorite food is pizza.
My name is Braden Lai Hainstock, and my favorite player is George Springer.
My name is Mitchell Sang, and my favorite actor is The Rock.
My name is Dylan Larder, and my favorite dessert is brownies.
My name is Jackson Marich, my favorite actor is Kevin Hart.
My name is Ben Darnell, and my favorite player is Shohei Ohtani.
They beat Australia on Wednesday 7-0, and they followed that up Friday with a 6-0 win over Japan. They scored all 6 runs in that game in the top of the 6th to take down Japan in Japan's opener. Starting pitcher for Mexico is David Zarate, who we heard from earlier.
Zarate, he's going to be bringing that cheese, but he's got to be careful. This is a Canada team that's already put up a lot of runs in the Little League World Series so far, so you got to establish the strike zone early and often. And, of course, Tim, his favorite rapper, Bad Bunny.
Of course, same as mine. Learned who he was yesterday.
Special talent for David is running. He's one of the fastest players on the team. He's a home run hitter, and he's a starting pitcher in front of this Team Mexico fan base. And on the other side, Canada. Already 2-0, like we said. A country that's been in the Little League World Series 64 times, but they've never won it all. Prime time on this Monday night, Canada and Mexico. Zarate ready to work to Ben Meichenbaum, the right fielder for Canada. Ben Meichenbaum, who was doing some interviewing to J.D. Martinez, who was also interviewing back Ben Meichenbaum. And J.D. Martinez asked, what position do you play? And Ben Meichenbaum said, well, I played like 7 positions this summer.
That was so great yesterday, the interaction between the major leaguers and the little leaguers. It's always the best part of this.
Bouncer up the third base line, and Miguel Padilla makes the play.
I watched Padilla in infield. That kid can throw from all arm angles. I watched him go to his left. I watched him go to his right. This time he came in on the ball. This is not an easy play, especially for a 12-year-old, but watch what he does here. Quick transfer, and he needed that to get a fast runner at first.
Padilla, the other of those home run hitters that Sebastian chatted with off the top. Starting pitcher the other day, too, and at third base today. Braden Lai Hainstock is the center fielder for Canada.
So yesterday, Dylan Tate of the Orioles got the autograph of Jaron Lancaster for Hawaii. He got his autograph. He said, this kid is the truth. That's what we loved about yesterday.
And then Buster was interviewing Jaron Lancaster during the game, and Jaron Lancaster said, I was flabbergasted.
Is that what he said?
That
Dylan
Tate wanted his autograph.
Right.
And X, you said that Adley Rutschman was doing the same thing.
Yes, he had so many autographs on his jersey here yesterday. Every autograph he traded, they asked him for his, he asked them for theirs.
Zarate's pitch is a beauty. 71 on the outside part of the plate to Hainstock, 2 down.
I mean, this will catch you guessing, catch you off guard. You see this fastball in the outer half of the plate. That's expanded the zone with 2 strikes, and he's able to just paint that pitch away right there. Something similar to Picasso.
He looks locked in early on. 6 pitches, 2 outs, brings up Lucas Weiser, Canada's third baseman.
Beautiful pitching motion here, X. Very, very precise, very compact, and yet he really lets it go at the end.
Zarate's got both a curveball and a slider. He was the key arm in a combined no-hitter on the journey to get here. He and 2 of his teammates, but Zarate was the guy who threw 5 innings. And no surprise, that was his favorite game of the summer. Weiser has swung it well here in Williamsport. 0-2. A strikeout for Zarate. 70 miles an hour. 1-2-3. 9-pitch inning. 2 punch-outs. Matamoros in Tamaulipas, Mexico, in one of the 31 states of Mexico. Matamoros right on the border, just from Brownsville, Texas. Popular beach, home to assembly and accessory plants for a lot of car brands. And Matamoros was the site for where the first time the Mexican national anthem got played, at an opera house. Population of about 1.4 million, the 4th largest metro area in Mexico. And this Little League, Matamoros Little League, here once again at the Little League World Series.
Mi nombre es Juan Pablo Puente y mi emoji favorito es el guiño.
Mi nombre es Gerardo Benavides y mi jugador favorito es Babe Ruth.
Mi nombre es Eduardo Javier Martínez Álvarez y mi animal favorito es el gato.
Mi nombre es Hernán Mireles Ramos y mi comida favorita es la hamburguesa.
Mi nombre es Noé Zavala y mi materia favorita es matemáticas.
Mi nombre es Marco Covarrubias y mi comida favorita es el sushi.
Mi nombre es Miguel Padilla Soto y mi equipo favorito es los Bravos de Atlanta.
Mi nombre es Iván Cuesta y mi jugador favorito es Mookie Betts.
Mi nombre es Adonis Alexander Castillo Rodríguez, mi jugador favorito es Miguel Cabrera.
Mi nombre es Néstor Samarripa y mi comida favorita es la pizza.
Mi nombre es David Gómez y mi equipo favorito es Boston.
Mi nombre es Francisco Jiménez y mi equipo favorito es San Diego Padres.
Mi nombre es David Zárate y mi jugador favorito es David Ortiz.
Mi nombre es Fernando García y mi equipo favorito es los Dodgers.
So that is Mexico off a 6-1 win on Thursday over Puerto Rico. They threw a combined 2-hitter in that game. Scored early on in the ball game as well, and today they face Ben Dartnell, who's played a big part in Canada's success.
Ben Dartnell has already gone 3 2/3 innings in this one. He's only given up 2 hits here in the Little League World Series. That should give him some confidence coming into this game. I've been already thrown here and been on this mound before.
And pitched Wednesday against Australia and was really effective. Starts out against Jesus Gomez, the first baseman for Mexico.
Like a lot of pitchers in the Little League World Series, he goes from the stretch, fewer moving parts. And X, I think you can throw just as hard from the stretch as you can from the windup if you know what you're doing.
The 1-1 from Dartnell goes off speed there. Darnell didn't pitch last time out Friday against Japan, but he spoke to the media after the game. He said, our pitching has been pretty amazing.
Spoke to the media after the game. 12 years old. I love it.
A wide-eyed look is 2-2. And a strikeout to start the evening for Ben Dartnell.
Again, it's hard to catch up with anything up in the strike zone that is out of the strike zone. Little chase involved. One down for Ben Dartnell.
Yeah, our stats and info team was such a great help here at the Little League World Series. They were in the first post-game press conference. Curaçao's players walked into it and they were looking at the podium and looking at where the media members were like, is this real? Do we do this right now?
The Tennessee team told me they practiced media questions in advance. Like, here's the kind of question you get. They were practicing answering questions from the media.
Wow. 1-1. Rather 0-2 on Miguel Padilla.
Those are the types of things you do when your team is expected to be here for a little bit.
And they just won a game that went final up at Lamade Stadium, so they're 3-0. Nolensville, Tennessee, back in Williamsport for a second consecutive summer. X, have you asked any hard-hitting questions this week?
I asked Mitch, leadoff hitter for Canada. I asked him how has he been enjoying it? What's he been liking most about it? He just mentioned he came here in 2019 just as a spectator, and just the ability to be on the field is almost unreal to him. And having his parents in the stands has been the best part for him.
1-2 to Padilla, and he strikes out. Back-to-back Ks for Ben Dartnell to begin the night.
Tim, you're going to see a lot of off-speed with Dartnell. He does a good job of mixing pitches. You see almost that 12-6 curveball starts up in the zone and just has a big drop to it. Tough pitch to pick up and barrel up for the Mexico hitters right now.
David Zarate bats now.
Very impressive. Painting away, glove side. And he's thrown that off speed in on a couple hitters so far. Working both sides of the plate.
Dartnell, this is outside. One of his assistant coaches, Kevin Smith, said he goes by Darts. It's a great nickname for a pitcher. Outside corner.
Pitch there. We know Zarate obviously looking for something that he can drive. Dartnell does not want to give it to him.
2-2 on Zarate. Also had a double in addition to his home run back-to-back in that first inning Thursday against Puerto Rico. Bouncing ball to third, and Lucas Weiser not going to get him. Zarate's on with 2 outs in the first.
I'm not sure with a good throw whether he would have got him anyway. That kid can really run. We know he can hit, we know he can pitch, and now we know he can run.
Get another look here. He does a great job of getting out of the box immediately, getting down the line. What I like here is that he sees Mitch out there in right field doing a good job of backing up that throw. As soon as that ball lands to the foul area, he noticed he was backing up, shut it down, stayed at first base.
Man aboard for the cleanup man, the catcher, Fernando Garcia. A nice stop by his counterpart, Alden Yu. I told you last game, Fernando, like his father, and as you see here, playing for the very same Little League in the Little League World Series. There's a striking resemblance when you look at them at the same age. Young Fernando pops it up high into the night sky, and Dartnell, a pitcher fielding a pop-up on the mound.
Yeah, we're allowed to do that in Little League, just not in the big leagues for some reason.
A lot of extras against Japan, and then Todd Frazier has broadcast in person. Nicaragua, the winners in a lot of extras against Japan, and then Chinese Taipei was all smiles and all sellies.
Chinese Taipei, they were having themselves a good time this last game.
What a catch that was from William Satinoff for Nolensville, Tennessee, in a major spot in the bottom of the sixth.
He doesn't make that play, the game's over. But he does, and they go on to win.
We've seen incredible defense on both sides. That in the United States bracket, this in the international winners bracket, where these two teams play right now, Canada and Mexico. And both pitchers, guys, look pretty good through an inning. David Zarate threw 9 pitches in the first. 8 of them were strikes. A couple of Ks for him. Now he gets the cleanup man for Canada, Jackson Mayerovich, who his first game here, Wednesday against Australia, went 4 for 4. Then his second game, Friday against Japan, 4 1/3 scoreless with 10 strikeouts. And he yearns for retirement. Grounds it left side, and Padilla. All those arm angles, you said.
There's that strong arm from your third baseman. Saw it all in infield. He's got plenty of time, so he sets his feet and throws a dart across the line.
Feels like the international side is wide open, that there's a lot of really good teams here, and it's going to be interesting to see who emerges from this. Modified double elimination format. Started with 10 U.S., 10 international.
You know, X, it's one thing to throw this hard. It's another thing to throw this hard and throw all strikes, because that's what this kid's doing.
He's commanding it.
Ellis St. James behind in the count, 0-2 against Zarate.
Now Padilla was playing in tight first couple of strikes. You see him about even with the bag now. He takes a couple steps back, gives himself some more room.
And Zarate strikes out St. James. 3 Ks among the first 5 faced.
And that at bat, 3 4-seamers, all of them away. He painted 3 times at 70 miles an hour.
Quite strong, as the Mexico youngsters can attest.
Strong to quite strong.
We get a pinch hitter here for Canada, Mitchell Sang, who on Wednesday against Australia had a pinch hit base knock where on the play he came all the way around to score. He's like the renaissance man of this Canadian team.
Plays the piano, speaks Cantonese. So much more well-rounded than I am, and he's 12.
He's been to Iceland. Have you been to Iceland?
Of course not. I was at a Reds-Pirates game that night.
A little bit high, 2-1 on Sang.
This is a situation where Miguel Padilla over there at third base is charging pretty hard after Sang is showing bunt. You could always pull it back and slash something down that third baseline.
Pulls back but takes a strike. Two. Good take. And if you ask Mitchell Sang who he'd most like to meet, he tells about the author Jennifer Lynn Barnes. He says, I'm inspired by her storytelling, her creativity, and her ability to build characters. And there's always twists and turns to keep me reading.
What an amazing sentence for a 12-year-old.
He stares at strike 3 called. That is nasty from David Zarate. 6 up, 6 down, 4 Ks for the Mexico starter.
These are the good people who give their time and effort to turn Williamsport into a warm and welcoming home away from home for the players, their families, and the fans. The magic here just wouldn't happen without them. So rise to your feet and cheer for your favorite teams, but be sure to tip your cap to the Volunteers at the Little League World Series.
Little League would like to extend a special thank you to its official sponsors like Easton Baseball and Major League Baseball's Play Ball Initiative to help maintain the strength and leadership of the Little League program. And Little League would also like to thank those dedicated volunteers who make the program a special experience for millions of children. So many great ones here down at this field that we've been stationed at over the course of the last week, Volunteer Stadium.
And all the umpires are volunteers. Of course, all their housing is paid for. And all these umpires work high school games, college games. They may be volunteers, but they're real umpires.
And they have some fascinating backstories, too.
There's some, literary professors who are umpires.
Yes. We got to get Mitchell Sang in touch with them.
Yes.
Home half of the second, no score just yet between Canada and Mexico. That's here.
I met 2 umpires here a couple days ago. They don't do the Little League, but they're also prison guards. So they're prison guards and umpires. Oh, my goodness.
I ain't messing with them.
In either place.
You're out.
I ain't arguing. No calls.
Francisco Jimenez, Mexico's shortstop, leads off against Ben Dartnell. is behind 3-1. Ben had a great defensive play in his first start. Wednesday caught a comebacker in the 3rd inning. He said afterward, "I thought I was going to die." It was more self-defense than skill.
I was going to say that comebacker caught him. The reaction when he caught it was really funny.
Ben kind of likens himself to Shohei Ohtani because he's an Asian pitcher, he says, who hits bombs.
He faces Ivan Cuesta.
Watch out.
Sends one back in our way. I flinched.
Sorry, Mike, that was headed towards you. And where's Ravi when we need him? There's no way you're catching a ball back here.
Who knew all it took was a simple catch up here to make top 10 plays?
X, would you have laid out?
Absolutely.
I think I was more startled by you saying,
sorry. I was trying to protect the play-by-play guy. Because if you get hurt, I have to do play-by-play, which I can't do.
Ground ball, third base side, and Weiser gets the lead runner. They cut down Jimenez at second base.
Nice job of Weiser being smart about understanding the runner at first base, and Jimenez knowing he has time to go to second with that baseball, getting the lead runner. Of course, keeping the force in play for his team.
He knows that we can't get a double play here, so let's take our time and get one sure out. X, that's the thing. Let's get an out here. They only get 18 of them.
Hernan Mireles bats now and takes strike one. The strike zone at this level, batter's armpits to the top of the knees when the batter's in a natural stance. Runner takes off. Alden Yu's throw does not get Ivan Cuesta, who takes off for third.
Help me, Mike. That's fairly rare, right? That's a straight steal. It wasn't delayed at all. Second that ball crossed the plate, he took off.
Well, yeah, he did a nice job of just making sure it crossed the plate, and as soon as it did, he was gone off to the races, and then he sees the ball get past St. James out there shortstop position and makes his way on over to third.
And again, small teaching moment, but there's no reason that play should not be backed up there, and maybe you can hold him at second. Instead, he's at third with one out.
I agree with you. I don't know if we can count on one hand. No more than that. The stolen bases, we've seen straight steals. 1-2 pitch. Ground ball back up the middle. Dartnell goes home. Not in time. Cuesta scores from third, and Mexico leads.
And that ball hit Ben Dartnell right in his right ankle. He is in some pain.
You see Cuesta here over at third. As soon as this ball's hit off the leg, he's gone. He waited for a second to make sure he was going to be able to make it home. Any ground ball back to the pitcher here with less than 2 outs, you're stopping. But as soon as he sees that ball's off his leg, he knows he's got the speed, and he's able to get home. Nice job of reading that ground ball right there by Cuesta.
Right off the side of that right leg for Ben Dartnell, and in game 3, the first time an opponent has scratched a run across against Canada. 13 1/3 innings into this.
And this is basically because of Cuesta's speed, right? He was able to steal second, saw the throw get past second base, got himself to third. And any other base runner with not as much speed as Cuesta, he's not scoring on that play there.
He stole a run there. Second, third, and home in his own right. Speed on this level is so critical, especially with the bases this close.
Good to see Dartnell is at least good enough to test this out.
This is his plant foot. He's going to his push-off foot. Let's see if he's going to be okay here.
He's a big Oilers fan. His dad used to live in Edmonton. He loves Connor McDavid. And he's got some hockey toughness in him.
Yeah, that's one of those ones he might still be feeling it, but he's going to tough through it. Obviously understands he's in a big position for his team, and if he's able to pitch like he pitched in the last game, he's going to be able to give them some successful innings.
Brings up Marco Covarrubias, the right fielder for Mexico. Covarrubias offered at it, 0-1.
Again, you got a pitcher that just got hit in the leg with a ground ball. Maybe a bunt on him and see how his movement is off the mound.
0-2. Pretty good response from Dartnell. Outside, doesn't tempt Covarrubias. Hello, coming right out of camera.
For our Hawaii game the other night, the foul ball broke the radar gun. So we have a kid throwing 75 miles an hour, and we don't have a radar gun.
Haas almost got hit back there. Ground ball towards short. St. James flips. Meichenbaum will hold on to it.
Again, same thing, X. Ellis St. James, notice it's a very fast guy going to first. Let's get the sure out at second. Don't rush it.
St. James at short, Graydon Yan at second, 2 down. And now Juan Pablo Puente, the center fielder for Mexico.
He wants to be an architect when he grows up, just like George Costanza. And role model, Jackie Robinson. Love that. Little depth.
It's a wide array there.
We had a kid in our game this morning who wanted to be a marine biologist. Oh, my gosh. The sea was rough that day, my friends.
If only everyone could hear the commentary from our producer, Scott Gustafson.
Well, what I love about Puente mentioning Jackie Robinson is somebody's had to teach him that, right? You understand he's learned about who Jackie Robinson is, and for him to understand that, pick that up, and understand the importance of it, and now become his favorite player, that's big. I always say it's important for us to understand our past in order for us to continue to move forward in the future, especially in this game of baseball. We understand it's so many cultures, so many different languages speak the game of baseball, and everybody becomes that much closer understanding the history of our game.
2 out, 1 on. And the well-versed Puente, the batter. 0-2. Up high. One, two. Fisted toward left center field, and that splits the gap. Covarrubias gets a windmill around third. The throw is cut off, and Mexico adds on. Juan Pablo Puente delivers.
So remember the game we did against Australia. Canada plays very, very shallow in their outfield. And here, maybe it comes back to get them, because if they're playing a little deeper, they can cut this ball off and keep that run from scoring. And then they missed the cutoff man, and there was no one covering third. So now Mexico's got a man in third with 2 outs and 2 runs in.
Yeah, the defensive positioning hurt Canada right there. Puente was able to get himself all the way over to third base because nobody was covering the bag. Pre-pitch, you have to understand where you're going to be, where each ball is going to be hit.
Nestor Zamaripa is the pinch hitter. He pops it up, and it drops. Puente scores, 3-0 Mexico.
Yeah, just some early defensive miscues here with Team Canada.
Jackson Maravich, the first baseman there, looked at the pitcher thinking, well, is Ben going to catch this? Watch him take his eye off the ball. And once he took his eye off the ball for a split second, he lost track. And now he's lost.
Yeah, that's one of those tough ones because it hung up in the air for a long period of time.
Way to battle through this, right? Guys, hey, our energy is really, really low, right? Remember, we look good today. But everyone, heads up. Let's make the plays. Get the ball. Get under it. Ball, ball, ball. Hey, let's support Ben here. Feed them grounders, guys. Hey, let's get out of this, okay? We're good still. Only second inning. Relax, okay? Let's go, guys. Let's go. Thank you.
Brad Dorwar, one of the assistants. So a man aboard, still the 2 outs, and Noe Zavala, the pinch hitter. Mexico has done this without the major bats in the top 4 in the lineup.
Well, what we're seeing is the athleticism take place for the game, for the team of Mexico, right? Ivan Cuesta able to show off his speed with the stolen base, getting himself over to third on a bad throw, and then scoring on a ball back to the pitcher. And then same thing with Puente, was able to get himself over to third with the ball in the gap, then able to score on that misplayed fly ball.
That's a strike, 2-1. Zavala squats right in there, taps his bat a handful of times. Big cut, 2-2. Pops on the far left. Watching proudly his son Noe Zavala.
These double flaps on the helmets. Anything you can possibly do to give more protection to these hitters, it's a good idea.
2-2 on the ground, left field, base hit. Couple of pinch hitters coming through in big spots for Mexico, and Dad, also named Noe, he loves it.
I went to the Little League World Series and watched my son hit a line drive to left field. I'm not sure there are a whole lot of better things for a dad.
Well, I think this is what makes this Mexico team so dangerous. You see how emotional Zavala is over there getting that big knock. But you mentioned, Mike, not the big bats of Padilla and Zarate really taking place yet, but everybody else is doing their part. That's why they've already scored 3 runs on the board in the 2 innings.
Brings up fan favorite, or maybe broadcast booth favorite, Adonis Castillo, the 3rd youngest player at this entire event. He just turned 11 on Saturday. Hefty hack from the guy who looks up to Miguel Cabrera, and he told our crew it's because people say I look like him.
How about that?
been calling him Little Miggy since day one, baby.
Lays off.
The other day, he reminded me of Miggy's 3,000 hit, just going to the right side.
Sure.
Ace not going the other way.
One of the staff members, Ivan Cuesta, he said the most rebellious one for Adonis Castillo. 3-1 from Dartnell with 2 out, 2 on, 3 in. Ball 4. Castillo works the walk and loads him up, and he's trying to fire up the masses.
If there's one kid you can tell who is having fun, it is Castillo.
Get a pitching change here for Team Canada.
I think this leg might be affecting you more than we think. So long as one moves, I'm going to put a change in. Wise is going to come in, okay? And then he's going to go have a rest right now, okay? Hey, pitch good. Hey, pitch good. Hey, loud. Hey, you pitch great. Come on. Hey, let's go. Let's go. Let's go, hey. Hey, you're heading into the dugout now, okay, bud? Yeah, you're in there. Hey, come on.
Brad Dorwart makes the change for this Vancouver, Canada team. Matamoros, Mexico, up 3. Welcome back to the Little League Baseball World Series on ESPN, presented by T-Mobile. The center of the Little League Baseball world. They're in Williamsport, Pennsylvania. Bottom of the 2nd inning, and Mexico looking the part. It's just the 2nd game for this team from Matamoros. They're squaring off with Canada, and Mexico the early lead, prompting a Canadian pitching change for Lucas Weiser.
And to repeat, Canada shutouts in their first 2 games and 3 runs here in the 2nd inning of their 3rd game.
Bases loaded, 2 outs. Cleanup man Fernando Garcia, the 9th Mexico hitter to bat this inning. Weiser's 3rd time pitching in 3 games. Pitched in relief Wednesday in their opener against Australia, then the starter Friday against Japan. An inning and 2/3 scoreless with a couple of Ks. He's got a signature on the cap, too. Got to be a big leaguer from yesterday, I would imagine. A Hall of Famer. Up high, and it hits off home plate umpire Mike Orlando, and that maybe helps out.
Well, that helps out big time, but you're Garcia, you're in a situation, bases loaded, 3-1 count. You got to look to let it eat right here. Got an opportunity to break this thing open early on in the game. Taking my best cut.
That's down. Garcia stays patient, bat flips the walk, and he fires up the crowd.
Yes, Ferguson Jenkins, class of 91, threw out the first ball yesterday.
Pretty cool to pitch in the Little League World Series with that on your hat. Tim, 10th at bat of the inning.
So we have officially batted around.
Pinch hitter Eduardo Martinez takes ball 1.
Big debate about that, Mike. Is
that
it
last
9
guy.
batters faced or 10? I think it's
batted
10.
around after the last guy.
No, X. Look, I know a little bit more about this than you do. There are no right answers. It's an interpretation.
Ball and a strike on Martinez. One and 2.
Martinez taking a healthy cut there. 1-2 count now. Just got to put something in play here. Want to try to scratch at least another run.
Weiser deals. Yeah, bases loaded. You're trying to pile on here.
Yeah, Weiser coming with a lot of fastballs. He's way ahead in the count. Martinez seeing a lot of fastballs. Got to just put something in play, shorten up.
On the ground, left side, deep in the hole. St. James goes to third and can't get him. Padilla's in. Castillo behind him. And 2 more for Mexico.
When we talk about 2-strike approach, not taking the same big cuts that Martinez took the first couple of pitches, he was able to shorten up his swing, was able to stay short and quick. When I say shorten up, I stay really relaxed. Don't take a hard swing, but just something simple to allow me to put it in play. Does a nice job going the other way. Tough play for St. James over there.
That was St. James' only play on that play. Was a throw to third. He had to rush it in order to get the guy and threw it a little bit too high.
Now Gerardo Benavides. Ball and a strike. Foul back.
Big cut for a little dude.
And he has one of his special things he does, mental calculation. What do you think that means? Adding up things in his head, maybe?
Doesn't need a piece of paper.
You know, Ichiro can do that. Ichiro is like a mathematical genius. He can go into an elevator and like count up all the numbers on the elevator like in his head.
And give a sum.
Yes.
How? Good take by the mathematician. 3-2. Weiser's pitch. Loads the bases.
Just a really solid at-bat from Benavides. I mean, all we've seen this inning is really good at-bats from this Mexico team. They've done a nice job of simplifying their approach, just trying to put the ball in play, using the speed of the runners, putting the pressure on the defense of Canada, and they continue to bat around.
Hernan Mireles bats for the second time this inning. Guy who dreams of being in the military. Said he wants to defend his country, specifically the Navy. Two and 0.
It's just too much glove side right now. He's got to try to find a way to set his sights back toward the middle inner half of the plate, towards righties. Kind of coming across his body a little bit too much as he delivers the pitch. A little too rotational instead of more vertical coming down.
Good visit by Alden Yu, the catcher. Tries to calm his pitcher down.
2-0. Bouncing ball right side at Braden Yan, who ends the inning. But a 6 spot for Mexico. And they lead by a half dozen after 2.
Williamsport, Pennsylvania is the center of the world.
That's it, it's all over. I'm Jim McKay, and working with us this afternoon is going to be one of the great baseball players of all time, a very safe thing to say, in a very comfortable and accustomed position here at second base, Jackie Robinson. Jack, it's always good to get back to Williamsport in this Little League thing, isn't it?
Yes, it is, Jim, because I feel that the Little Leagues do so very much for our youngsters, so it's good to be back.
You notice the way that these kids are lining up, congratulating the winners, and then, although with tears streaming down their face, went back to their own dugout. I think this is a tribute. They've learned how to lose, and I think it's going to help them, and perhaps it could help us, too, if we just took a page out of Little League book and play hard, do the best we possibly can. When it's over, we go congratulate the winner and say, next time, we're going to beat you. I congratulate them for the fine job they did, Jim.
Want to play Little League baseball or softball? It's easy. Visit playlittleleague.org and enter your address to find a Little League program near you. Boy, that is cool to hear.
Jackie Robinson, oh my goodness, most important player in Major League history and one of the most important people in American history, given everything he did for civil rights. What a player he was. He could beat you in so many different ways. One of the great athletes of all time. Led the Pac-10 in scoring in basketball. All-American football player at UCLA. Tennis, golf, and of course one of the great Major League players ever.
Third inning, Mexico up 6-0 on Canada. Omar Busmina bats. All these throwback clips that we've had fun reliving, given that it's the 75th Little League World Series. They just make you reflect on the brilliance, not just of this event, but of this sport.
And isn't this great that the 75th anniversary also marks the 75th anniversary of Jackie Robinson breaking the color barrier? What beautiful symmetry that is.
David Zarate working for Mexico on the mound. They're up 6-0 in the third. That's a strike. 2-1 on Busmina. We had Jason Varitek with us up here in the booth yesterday. He, of course, played in the 1984 Little League World Series title game. They were the U.S. champions. Then they played in the championship game against South Korea. And I was going back and just watching some of that broadcast. And Kurt Gowdy with Earl Weaver and Jim Palmer on either side of it.
Don't get much better than that.
Bouncing ball off the glove. Busmina's on, and the first base runner for Canada.
If you're looking for a little momentum, Tim, there you go. Get first guy on. Busmina does a nice job putting this ball in play. Zarate just off the edge of his glove right there. Doing a nice job of being athletic coming off the mound, but just couldn't hold on to that one.
Kurt Gowdy did basketball, baseball, and football. He was in my house every weekend of my life for years and years. He was one of the great broadcasters ever. And with Earl and Jim Palmer on either side, I'm surprised there wasn't a fight during the game.
Delayed steal, and a good slide from Omar Busmina just ahead of the throw, at least for now, from Fernando Garcia.
I just love how the kids know what the replay sign is. They put their hands up next to their head.
Check out Fernando Garcia. He's watching it the whole time. He's heads up on the delay steal. Now, I'm not quite sure what we're doing from Canada's point of view. I think Busmina was trying to catch Moreles sleeping at shortstop, but Moreles did a nice job of getting himself over to the position, got his glove in front of the base right there.
Garcia made a great throw there, and there was nobody at second base when he threw that ball, meaning he threw it to an open base, which is not an easy thing to do, and he threw a strike.
And just from a teaching standpoint, you're down 6-0 in the second inning. We got to be smart about your outs here. Taking off right there is not the best decision.
Out is the call, and Garcia's fired up. throws out Busmina. What a tag, what a throw.
And Dad's in the crowd saying, that's my boy.
We saw some clips of him playing great defense at shortstop.
Like father, like son.
So now the base is empty for Dylan Larder.
Corners are still expecting bunt.
Dylan Larder looks up the most to Justin Smoke because Dylan says that was the first lefty ball player I ever saw, and I'm a lefty. He inspired me.
Justin Smoke, he used to hit some bombs too.
0-2 is strike three called. David Zarate's 5th strikeout already among 8 batters faced.
Zarate just rearing back, bringing that cheese on the outer half of the plate. Got a little bit of that cut action to it.
Little late movement there, X. Pretty impressive at that velocity.
How do you hit this guy?
You don't. That's what happens at the Little League World Series, just like in the big leagues. When our best big leagues pitchers locate, a lot of our hitters have very little chance. Same thing operates here.
28 pitches, 8 outs, no hits for Canada, and Lucas Fabro is the pinch hitter.
Yeah, to Tim's point, Zarate's got a lot of movement. It's not just the off speed that's moving, the fastball's moving. He's got some cut action. Those pitches aren't just going straight. That's 71 with some movement to it at the end, equivalent to 92 miles an hour.
He's bringing it. Look at what Garcia's doing before these last couple of pitches. He's trying to get Fabro to think where he's going and then setting up elsewhere.
Starts in the middle of the plate and then moves as his pitcher gets into his windup.
Less deception this time. Fouled away by Fabro, spoiling 71.
Love the catcher's X. It's a really difficult position to play no matter how old you are. 12 years old, the way they handle themselves behind the plate is so good.
Nice job by Fabro staying alive.
Didn't you say you didn't want to be a catcher?
I didn't want to be a catcher, but catcher's one of those positions that I encourage every young player to play because you see the whole field, every pitch you're involved in, and you learn the game and soak in the game that much better because it's all right in front of you. And also you learn to not be afraid of the baseball while being a catcher at a young age as well.
1-2. On the edge, strike three called. 71 from David Zarate. 3 no-hit innings, 6 Ks.
Garcia said outside, and he hit the mitt perfectly.
Viene el lanzamiento, el plato sale la línea por todo el jardín central. La pelota con distancia, con altura. La pelota está del otro lado de la barda. Cuadrangular de Miguel Padilla. Viene el lanzamiento, sale el contacto profundo por todo el jardín central. La pelota con distancia, con altura. Y la pelota está del otro lado de la barda. Back to back.
We welcome you back to Williamsport with the sweet sounds of Alberto Mar and Luis Araujo of W1420 AM Matamoros. That was their call of Mexico's back-to-back home runs in their opener against Puerto Rico. Momentum Mexico is carried into this game. They lead Canada 6-0 as we head to the bottom of the third. And so as we send it back up to the booth, Mike Monaco, I just got one question for you. Can you match that?
Tim, so the game we just did before this one, we had Panama's radio team as well. And their broadcast call, similar to that of a grand slam the other day. And the translation that Sebastian provided for us was, the ball has become a butterfly.
Mike, why aren't you poetic like that? Come on.
That's awesome. Shout out to Alberto and Luis. Bottom of the third starts with a foul ball. A dangerous one at that from Marco Covarrubias. Look at this. Wow. How do we have that on demand?
That's called producing right there.
Something tells me that is not currently in the ballpark.
My man Larder just lost his shoe in right field going after that baseball. Just slipped it back on. Got to call time because you got to lace that thing back up. Tighten that thing up before he loses it again.
What do we think the biggest shoe size is here of a player?
I don't know, but I can tell you this. Today, the game that I did with Ravi, the two broadcasters, me and Ravi, both are wearing 7.5 shoes. Grown men. How many kids here have bigger than a 7.5 shoe? My guess is a bunch of them. Warner wears a 15. We wear a 7.5. We combine for 15.
Davey J. Rika, I know he's wearing bigger than a 7.5.
So Tim, in our game earlier today, there was a foot first, slide at second, bang bang play. And Todd Frazier said Ravi definitely would have been out. Yeah. Ball and 2 strikes on Marco Covarrubias. 2-2 from Lucas Weiser.
Must be awesome to get the kid prices. The Nike shop.
Swing and a miss. Alden Yu completes the K. Good start to the third for Lucas Weiser. All right, pitch count wise. Let's see. Does Canada make a change? Loser of this game plays tomorrow. And if you take out Lucas Weiser now, he can pitch tomorrow.
1 going back to right field.
It's like covering a Rays game.
Number 8 going to third base.
Hey, way to strike out your last batter. Awesome. Nice curve. Say, you're going to go back to third. Yeah. Okay, well, tie it even tighter. Is it tight? Okay. You're coming in to pitch. Okay, guys. Hey, guys, off the mound. Come on. Let him pitch. Come on, warm up. Warm up. Okay.
Let's go double knots, folks, for the rest of the bottom of the third.
Number 3, Ben Hockenberg. Now playing third base, number 8, Lucas Weiser. And now pitching, number 12, Dylan Larder.
Welcome back to the Little League Baseball World Series on ESPN, presented by T-Mobile. 6 games at the Little League World Series today on this Monday due to the weather here in Williamsport, Pennsylvania. Still in the bottom of the third, Mexico up by 6 on Canada in the winner's bracket. And Dylan Larder is the new pitcher. Comes in very Rays-like for a left-on-left matchup.
Dylan is a hockey player, a defenseman. X, can you skate?
Skate?
Ice skate.
Ice skate. No, I've never even attempted the ice skate.
What about you, Mike?
Oh, yeah, I played hockey.
Oh, really?
For 1 year.
Wow, we found something that Mike's done before.
Grew up in Southern California. I wasn't skating.
Comebacker up the middle into center. And the defenseman has a base hit.
Sorry to insult you, X. I thought it was an interesting question about ice skating. Mike played hockey.
I wouldn't try to embarrass myself. You imagine seeing me out there falling down all over the place?
Juan Pablo Puente, the base hit off Larder. Tim, how about you?
I've been on skates twice. Total disaster. Never do it again.
Your winter sport was basketball.
Yeah, look, when I get off of my own 2 feet, I'm in big trouble. Roller skating, ice skating, never been skiing. As long as my feet are on the ground, I'm good.
Except when you're dunking.
Jesus Gomez, the batter. 1 out, 1 on for Mexico. X, what was your next best sport?
Basketball. I played basketball till I was a junior in high school. Same thing with football. And I'm all about Tim. He mentions how important it is to play multiple sports just because you develop athleticism within each sport. And you take it to your individual sport that you end up being best at.
It does, Mike. It worries me we're asking some of our 10-year-olds to specialize and don't play another sport, just baseball. It's the best game in the world, but it's a better game when you play another sport. It'll make you better at baseball.
I see it a lot covering college baseball, that you get guys who maybe weren't as highly recruited, and then they're late bloomers because they've been playing 3 sports year-round, a variety of things, and then once they finally focus on that one sport, they really take off. Breaking ball cut on and missed. They're down to second. And good job by Juan Pablo Puente moving up on the ball in the dirt.
Been really impressed with Puente and just what he's been able to do. Last at bat going left center, the shot there, and then being able to shoot that last one back up the middle. The speed of his, being able to use his legs. He's a threat on the base pass. Now anything hit into the outfield, it's almost an automatic run the way he runs the bases.
Yeah, Tim, just to close the thought, like the players and the coaches are so happy they played all those different sports because it has helped them with other skill sets.
Oh, my.
Miguel Padilla into the gap in right center and gone! Opposite way for Padilla, his second home run here in Williamsport.
X, that's a right-handed hitter going oppo with a line drive. Oh, my goodness.
The way that ball jumped off the bat to right center, I didn't necessarily think this ball was getting out.
I thought it was going to one-hop the wall, and next thing we know, it's cleared it.
But he wasted no time. He just leaned on this ball on the outer half, being able to cover the whole plate. That's what you're talking about when you're talking about covering the whole plate as a hitter. Not trying to pull everything. He just went with that pitch, and that's an Oppo biscuit right there.
He is on the very short list of most impressive players here.
I think we'll call that one an Oppo taco.
David Zarate went back-to-back with him last game. and was trying to send one to the Poconos.
Well, that's what's been impressive, too, is Zarate and Padilla, when they went back-to-back, they went to the biggest part of the yard in their first game. They're not looking to pull. They're looking to hurt something middle of the field.
And I'm going to say it. I've seen the best international team now, and it's Mexico.
All right.
Man.
1-2. Up and away, 2 balls and 2 strikes. Zarate talked post-game after those back-to-back home runs. He said it was the first time him and Padilla had done it. Zarate had done it with Ivan Cuesta earlier in the summer, but not with Padilla before.
And even that pitch right there, 2-2, you can see him trying to stay inside the baseball. At this age, it's really hard to be able to work inside the baseball a lot of times and really focus on that. He did a nice job of protecting, getting the hands in. He got him.
This is Sky.
He got him.
Center field to the wall and off the wall. They nearly went back-to-back for the second time in as many games.
Well, Zarate thought he got it because he didn't run to first base. He was watching it, thinking this ball's going out of here.
Look.
We can blame the big leaguers for this.
I did that one time in Little League, and my dad was so mad at me. He pulled me out of the game and said, "You're done. Don't you ever do that ever again. Always run."
It's a single off the center field wall. And now a number off Fernando Garcia's bat. And he is thrown out.
I think he was just disgusted with hitting it that softly. He chose not to run to first base.
Vacated the premises. A home run again for Miguel Padilla. You can call it a biscuit or an Oppo taco.
Biscuit.
The Little League Baseball World Series is presented by T-Mobile. Mexico up 8-0 on Canada in the winner's bracket on the international side as we go to the 4th inning. Remember, Canada had a pair of shutouts its first 2 games. And now Miguel Padilla with his second home run here in Williamsport. He has supported some excellent starting pitching from David Zarate, who his first time through faced the minimum, but his evening is over. Hernan Mireles comes on to replace him in an 8-0 game. So 34 pitches for David Zarate, which means he will need 1 day of rest and could throw on Wednesday. Winner of this game next plays on Wednesday.
Such great strategy in what you're doing with your pitching.
Miguel Padilla can bounce back. He'll be eligible by tomorrow.
Yeah. So you've got your 2 aces.
And they are aces.
Yes. That's as good a pitching setup as anyone's got on the international side at this point. We could also throw Curacao into that mix. Mentioned them earlier. They play tomorrow. They already have a loss, but every single pitcher on their roster, and guys, we've seen their team, each of us, will be available tomorrow. Ben Meichenbaum grounds out back to Morelos to begin the 4th.
I mean, even in that first win that Mexico had against Puerto Rico 6-1, you could just tell there was a standout in the athleticism of the team. Really good at bats, just defensively solid. And they've continued to do the same thing today, putting up 8 runs early on, but the defense has been great as well.
They're not just athletic kids, they're big athletic kids, and that is quite a combination for a 12-year-old.
Mateo Liberatore, the batter. 1-1 from Morelos.
And Tim, like you mentioned, this is a Canada team that has scored 13 runs already in this tournament.
They just clobbered their way through the regionals. They've been shut down by very, very good Mexico pitching so far.
Morelos nods yes. 1-2. On the edge, strike 3 called. 2 gone. Hey, find Little League on Facebook, Twitter, Instagram, and TikTok at the official handles at Little League. Follow the action and join the conversation with the hashtag LLWS.
Mike, do I have this right? You had a Diet Mountain Dew today?
Yes.
Is that the first one?
First one of the tournament. I've had them in the past.
Okay.
But in honor of you and Sebi, I felt like today was the day to crack one open.
And Sebi and I drink Diet Mountain Dews. We went to the same elementary school, the same high school.
Houses.
The only difference is I'm 50 years older than him.
Sebi was kind enough to bring us food that one of the family members from the Panama side cooked for us. And he brought it up to the booth last game.
Really?
Crushed it.
1-1 to Lucas Weiser.
Tim, you know the only difference between you and I? You get invited back to the high school to speak, and I don't.
Sebi, you not on the Hall of Fame there?
Far from it, brother. Far from it. The administration was not a big Seabass fan.
You had a good soccer career. Come on.
That's true. We did hang a banner. We did win the state championship way back in 2000. Thank you for bringing that up, Mike.
Were you wagging school?
No, I think the problem was I was there and they didn't like my presence. That was they would have preferred that I wagged school, like the Australian kids say.
Is that his nickname, Seabass? Am I the last guy to figure that out?
I've been going with Sebi for 2 years now.
I think we need to change it to Seabass. It fits.
Sebi, Seb, Seabiscuit, Seabass, whatever you boys want up there. Bassy.
Seabiscuit, huh?
You don't know how fast I was back in the day, X. Don't sleep. Don't sleep.
Xavier hears biscuit and the world stops. Xavier showed up a little bit late to breakfast this morning and had breakfast made just to order for him by the food staff. Talk about a big leaguer.
Yeah.
Must be nice.
Not my fault. Chef wanted to cook something up for me.
3-2 to Weiser is low. Nice take by Lucas Weiser to get aboard. And that's the second base runner for Canada. Seabiscuit did not eat any of the Panamanian food himself. He said, I have to preserve a 29-inch waistline. Jackson Maravich, the batter. Let's see if he can get something started here with 2 outs for Canada. He's been their best bat. Nice fastball.
Nice job. Mireles fighting through some frustration, getting back in the strike zone. Just got to play catch, right? Your team's up 8-0. Not necessarily trying to strike everybody out. Just make sure you're getting the outs. Let the guys put the ball in play. Let the defense work.
Like all really good catchers, they love to throw, especially love to throw behind that runner at first occasionally.
One-two pitch. Just off the edge. This is a really impressive team that we're watching from Matamoros, Mexico. Mireles, 2-2.
Seriously, look at the size of those 4 infielders right now. Usually at 12, you got a little guy playing second. They have 4 big kids playing in the infield. Big second baseman, shortstop, and third baseman, not to mention first.
And a catcher who will throw to a base on a dime, even if no one's covering right at that time. 2-2. Up high.
The beauty of this sport is it's open to all shapes and sizes, but if all things are equal and you're bigger than everyone and equally skilled, you've got an advantage.
Gas up the ladder. Mireles with a couple of Ks in his first inning of work. Mexico in control. About 16 minutes ago, you saw this. Miguel Padilla going oppo. His second home run here in Williamsport. And then a minute later, up the hill at Lamade Stadium, Honolulu, Hawaii star Jaron Lancaster, his second of the tournament.
Can't even begin to tell you how impressive that kid is. 75 miles an hour and has that kind of pop and can run.
That was a sweet swing right there.
I mean, that looked like a big league swing and ball flight. Perhaps some symmetry going on with these teams in particular. What's he doing?
He was playing around in the dugout.
Hawaii's up 4-0 on Texas. Honolulu, Hawaii, Pearland, Texas. Nolensville, Tennessee has been very impressive as well. They've won 3 games. Chinese Taipei is 2-0 here as well. Next, we just saw them. They looked really impressive in the game they just played against Panama. Oh, 2 to Martinez. Upstairs from Dylan Larder.
This one likes to draw. Eduardo Martinez. The drawing, painting, that wasn't me.
That's painted. Good breaking ball. Lands on the outside part of the plate and strikes out the artist for the first out.
Give Larder some credit here. Does a nice job of being able to paint on the outer half of the plate after going on the inner half. Goes back outside for the strikeout. His day might be done.
Well, at 21 pitches, he finished that at bat at a point where 0 days rest required for him. The loser of this game plays tomorrow, 5 o'clock Eastern against Curacao. So Dylan Larder can pitch in that game.
So have some fun, buddy. Have some fun. Have some fun. Hey, let's go. Have some fun. Smile, bud. Let's go.
All positivity, as has been the case from Brad Dorwart, who said before coming here he would love to meet Pete Walker because I have a passion for teaching pitching. Let's go down to Sebastian.
Guys, I love listening in on Brad's mound visits, and I got to talk to him a little bit about the breakdown and kind of the coaching philosophies on this Canadian staff. He told me that the manager, Ulysses, he's kind of the authority figure, right? The technique guy, the focus is there. Coach Kevin Smith, he's a teacher by day, so his focus is all about the mindset of the team and the why. I said, well, Brad, what do you do? He says, man, I'm all about the feeling. I'm the happy uncle, like the funkle role. That's Brad's role, and I think you definitely sense that when he's out in the mound talking to the kids, no matter what's going on in the game.
That's Ulysses Yan in there. He's the manager. Brad Dorwart, who he says he's got a lucky pen. He has to use that pen during the game. Wow. Bunch of changes. Canada goes to its shortstop, Ellis St. James, to step onto the mound.
Do love the fact that a lot of these kids are playing a bunch of positions. Now's the time to do that. You can specialize at a position when you're 14, 16, 18. But you'll be a better shortstop if you play second base one day and see what that's like.
St. James has moved around. He's facing Ivan Cuesta. Get a look at his A2000 there. That is custom made. He's got a new custom A2000. And his dad, David, would always say to him, play hard, have fun. So Ellis has that stitched into his glove.
That's awesome. Even professionals usually have some type of reminder in their glove, whether it be written, customized in there, something that just reminds them of something that they want to do, right? Whether it be have fun, whether it be take a deep breath, whether it be a Bible verse, anything. A lot of times you'll see those things that keep them loose and just keep them active and remembering what they want to do.
When I was 50, I bought an A2000 for myself because I love those gloves so much. And then my dog ate it.
Oh, no.
Seriously, my daughter was so upset she went and bought me a new one. My brother, unbeknownst to my daughter, was so upset he went and bought me a new one. And at the winter meetings, I bought myself another one. So now I had 3 A2000s, which is like an A6000. I gave one to my son, I kept one, and we took one back. So that was a bad day when I lost my glove, and then I got 3 in return.
Hernan Mireles, the batter. Strokes one in the air, deep right field. Larder was shallow, and it gets toward the track. A big turnaround second for Mireles, and he will pivot back to the bag. That one was kissed to right.
Again, Canada plays very shallow in the outfield, which we pointed out multiple times. He's not going to catch that anyway, even if he's playing deep. It was hit so deep. But I thought we would have a triple here, 1 run in, but the third base coach held him up, thinking 1 out, no reason to risk it at this point.
And I don't know if you guys are seeing what I'm seeing, but all these kids have juice to all fields. So many oppo shots we've seen today.
X, how do you explain a 12-year-old having opposite field power like that? It's
well, one thing I've seen is an advanced approach. All these kids aren't trying to pull the baseball. A lot of times you'll see younger kids trying to pull it. They're not trying to do that.
Reminder that there is a run rule at this level. 10 runs in 4 innings. So should these 2 runs score, Mexico will win this thing in 4. Canada does not have a hit. Marco Covarrubias, the batter, with 2 aboard. Big cut. Nice off speed from St. James. Block by the catcher, Alden Yu, and the count is full. Cuesta at third, Mireles at second. 3-2. Outside, they're loaded.
Just even right there, 3-2 count. A ball that a lot of kids would want to swing at. Just understands with the base open. He can take his base. Bases are loaded now, obviously, but this is a young man in Puente who can swing it as well.
Infield in, knowing the stakes.
Puente with a double and a single.
St. James working quickly. It's bounced to first. Mayerovich to the plate for the force. And out number 2.
Nice job of Mayerovich coming up with that ball, making a strong throw to home. And you being able to make sure his foot is on home plate, secure that out number 2.
Well, now the lineup flips over to the top for this Matamoros Mexico team to Jesus Gomez. Bases loaded, 2 outs. Strike 1. Good stop again by you. The 1-1 pitch, and Gomez strikes it well into center, but Hainstock's there, and the inning is over. Mexico leaves them loaded in the bottom of the 4th. The Little League World Series on ESPN is presented by T-Mobile. Get coverage beyond the expected. Stream in the air and abroad on us so you can stay in the game. Those are so good.
I need one of those, Tim. Ice cream sandwich?
Between the two cookies, like the chocolate chip cookie ice cream sandwiches.
Are they sold here at the concession stand?
Somebody
think so.
Somebody got it.
We need to figure out where.
I'm headed there after this one.
Here's Mike. He's been eating the whole game anyway. In between innings, he's eating dinner.
Quite literally between every half inning.
You didn't have time to eat. It's good for you.
It's that kind of day. We got going at 10 a.m. Eastern time with our first game of the day here. Tim, you hosted Baseball Tonight for...
Yeah, I got to the ballpark at 6:30 yesterday morning. I got back to the hotel at 11:30 last night.
Broadcast 1 or 2 Little League games yesterday.
I did 1 Little League game, did the radio for the Major League game, did Baseball Tonight, and had a great day.
2-0 pitch to Ellis St. James. It's fouled off of Hernan Morales.
Well, Baseball Tonight didn't count because your mic was off half of the game, half of the time yesterday. What happened?
The mic went out for some reason. Ravi and X thought that was really funny because I had some really great hot takes that we didn't get to hear.
We were talking about most mischievous people yesterday. Terry Francona, Adnan Virk, Carl Ravitch.
Yeah, I think Ravi's moving up the list, though. He's definitely over Adnan now. He's second.
Well, remember what's at stake here. Not just Mexico leading, trying to move on to Wednesday. They've not given up a hit into the 5th.
Canada would like to get a couple runs here and make sure they can play 6 today and not have a potential 10-run rule here.
The payoff on the ground to second at Ivan Cuesta. 1 down. Here's Sevi.
Guys, you've heard the fans from Mexico all night. Let me tell you a little bit about them. Over 200 made the trip from Matamoros to Williamsport. A few did fly, but most drove. That's between 32 and 35 hours in a car. That number 200 sounds like a lot, but it kind of pales in comparison to the interest back home. This team played its national final at its home field. There were between 4,000 and 5,000 people in attendance. They had to turn folks away. On the stream of that game, there were over 10,000 people listening. And I've been told of at least 3 watch parties going on back in Matamoros tonight. One at the Fajita House, one at Chochongos, and one at the very famous Mexican eatery, Mike Monaco. I think you've been here a few times, Wingstop. So everybody in Matamoros is watching this game.
Did he say Wingstop with the accent?
El Wingstop.
Hello to everyone watching. So great to have you with us. He's Seabass. We're Xavier, Tim, and Mike. Our whole crew behind the scenes. Nice play by Morales on the mound. 2 outs here in the 5th. And a swinging strike on Omar Busmina. One of just 2 Canadian players to reach base. A comebacker that was ruled in error his last time in the 3rd. Popped up. Foul, 1-2. One-two pitch. 2 balls and 2 strikes.
Canada just searching for some type of momentum, something to get them going offensively. Just a base runner. help them kind of get something going so they can feel like they can start a rally.
Struck him out. 5 no-hit innings from Mexico pitching tonight at the Little League World Series. Sunday Night Baseball. The Braves and Cardinals finish up a big 3-game series at Busch Stadium at 7 Eastern, 4 tonight.
What he's been able to what he's been able to do, and it obviously makes sense because of he's done a lot within the last 2 weeks, right? But we should be talking about this guy so much right now. He may be the last person we see even get to 690.
Only one player has more total bases in Major League history, and that's Hank Aaron.
Your pitcher here for Canada is Braden Lai Hainstock against the impressive Miguel Padilla.
Don't get me started on Albert Pujols, because you know I came up in the Cardinals organization. Albert kind of took me under his wing, showed me while I was a minor leaguer how to be a great defensive first baseman, in which he always was. And then to see him work in the cage, put the time in, put the put the effort in to perfect that swing was just amazing to witness.
Padilla on a line to left and a sliding bid. Good hustle out there by Muzmina. But Padilla's on his third hit in the last 4 innings. Do you have a favorite Albert Pujols story?
Probably my favorite Albert Pujols story is when I was a minor leaguer, my second year in the Cardinals organization. Albert had already done amazing things at the big league level, and he had come over to speak to the minor leaguers one early morning, probably 7 a.m. And he mentioned first what the sacrifices it took to get to the level that he's at. But then the great thing that he said is, none of you will take my job. None of you. And he looked at everybody dead serious, but that's just the seriousness in which he took his job. He understood that there's guys coming for his job at the minor league level, and nobody was going to take it. And that just reminded me, for myself, how important it is to always continue to fight every single day, especially at the professional level, because at any point, any given point, somebody could take your job, you could get injured, and you can be done.
I was there for Albert's home run off of Brad Lidge in the playoffs. So now the series shifts to St. Louis. I mean, they're in the air. The Astros are in the air. They've just lost. Brad Ausmus gets on the microphone in the plane and says, if you look out the left side of the airplane, Albert Pujols' home run is still orbiting the Earth. And Brad Lidge and the whole team laughed, and then they went to St. Louis, and Roy Oswalt threw a gem, and they moved on to the World Series.
Hainstock strikes out David Zarate for the first out here in the bottom of the 5th.
Tim, you know, and so many guys have probably told you, you just have to have a short memory in this game.
Of course.
You have to be able to laugh about those things.
Here's Fernando Garcia. Good block again by Alden Yu. Well, guys, we got something interesting going on right now. There's also a no-hitter in progress up at Lamade Stadium. Ground ball, that's fair down the left field line from Garcia. Padilla speeds first to third. Man, he can run. And they're at the corners for Mexico, and the winning run is on at first with a run rule of 10.
Hawaii's got a no-hitter going?
They do.
Hawaii had a no-hitter against New York.
Garcia does a nice job of driving this ball down the left field line. Garcia knows what he's doing here, because look at this. Drives it down the line, and you just get a little bat flip. Base knock. Let me flip my bat over there.
Yeah, that game up there is also in the bottom of the 5th.
Have we ever had dueling no-hitters? Have we ever had no-hitters in the Little League World Series simultaneously on the two fields?
Only 5 days in Little League Baseball World Series history with multiple no-hitters. The most recent was in 2008. And a shout out to our awesome Stats and Info group for all of that information and everything else over the course of these 2 weeks. Eduardo Martinez drops down a beauty of a bunt. That'll load the bases. Be still, my heart.
It just makes me want to cry. They should take that. They should take that bunt and show it to 30 major league teams, because this is the way a left-handed hitter pushes a bunt down the third base line. That is so textbook.
Bases loaded, Ivan Cuesta with a chance to end it. The rare a no-hitter could end on a swing. 1-0 pitch. Good block by Yu, 2-0.
It's an art bunting a baseball, and that kid has practiced that a lot. Just shows you if you practice it, you can do it.
Have we ever had a walk-off and a no-hitter on the same pitch? That's possible here.
Making the research team work right now.
Mike, you've had too many Diet Mountain Dews.
Cut him off. He's been overserved. Three and one. The pitch. Cuesta fouls it off, full count.
Well, you're right, X. They swing at strikes. They throw strikes. If you throw strikes and you swing at strikes, you're usually going to have a chance. It's such a great combination.
3-2. Cuesta fouls it back again. Everything that they swing at just right around the zone.
And those Hawaiian hitters all look virtually the same at the plate. It's like they have the same setup, same approach, and they all hit the ball the same way. Hard.
The payoff. Cuesta pops it up.
The one thing I've seen with this Mexico team is they can beat you in multiple different ways, right? They all have a great approach to the plate, but they've got power and they've got speed within the lineup.
Nine 0. A bases loaded walk worked by Ivan Cuesta. Padilla scores, and Mexico is one run away from a win. And Cuesta wanted to hit.
Wanted to hit.
Brad Dorwart comes out. And with a pitching change, Braden Lai Hainstock could pitch tomorrow, but he's going to stay in.
Relax. You're doing fantastic, okay? This is a tough situation here. Hey, guys.
Now he can also start this batter,
so if in,
finish it, and pitch tomorrow.
Take it easy. Let's play some ball. Hit the strike zone. We're going to keep it low. All right? Go home with the ball. You get a ground ball, go right home, guys. Okay? Go right home. Okay? It's a force play. Relax. Come on. Let's have some fun here. Take a breath. You're good. Okay? Hey? Long. Okay, Bray? Long. Come on, bud. You got it.
I'm just so impressed with the discipline this Mexico team has shown. Even Cuesta, bases loaded there, 3-2 count. So many 11, 12-year-olds would be trying to go hit that baseball right there, and he just easily took his walk.
Hernan Mireles, the batter. Winner plays Wednesday against Chinese Taipei, loser tomorrow. Mireles in the air to right field to walk it off. A no-hitter for Mexico and a walk-off winner.
Nearly a walk-off grand slam. Boy, what a performance by Mexico. To repeat, Canada was 2-0, had not allowed a run coming into this game. And Mexico took it to them and threw a no-hitter. If you have a sombrero, throw it to the sky.
Their first no-hitter at the Little League World Series in 10 years, and the fourth in their country's history. And remember, there's a no-hitter in progress up top as well. And if Hawaii throws a no-hitter too, it would be the first time we've had multiple no-hitters on the same day at the Little League World Series since 2008. So that's the matchup Wednesday. Mexico and Chinese Taipei. Meanwhile, tomorrow, 5 o'clock Eastern, it's Curacao against Canada. That wraps it up. Mexico wins it 10-0. For Xavier Scruggs, Tim Kirkchin, Sebastian Salazar, and our entire crew, led by producer Scott Gustafson and director Dan McVan, Mike Monaco saying thanks for joining us here in Williamsport at the Little League World Series.